I'm so glad you made it. The show's about to start. Everyone says it's to die for. Come on.
Sloppy Joe's, my special recipe. You're not like some crazy wackadoodle, are you?
Bury me in the cemetery. I want people to dance on my grave. Not alone, I'll strip to the bones. And in the moonlight misbehave. Happy dead people laying in line. Happy dead people have a lot of time to think about those many things that happiness in death brings.
That's what I like best. Finding buried tales.
Unacceptable. Your outlandish behavior is disgusting. Insulting. Helen?
Yes, Miss Burris?
You'll be serving one tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Behave like a child and I'll treat you like one now. Get out of my sight.
Welcome to Film Speak. This is a very special episode as Film Speak is a Burnmill production on DATV, and Burnmill has its first feature film coming out, which is Buried Tales. It'll be premiering 26, which will be the same weekend this episode is on DATV, so if you're watching this episode, you just missed the premiere. Now, it's an anthology film broken into 3 shorts, with links in between with the host and everything. And these 2 lovely ladies who are my guest today were cast in the first short, which is Fallout. Was written by Joanna Lee Lloyd and Lana Reed, and then directed by Lana Reed. Thank you very much for coming on the show today. This is Gaynell. Did I say that right?
Gaynell.
Gaynell. See,
Yes.
I have a reputation for butchering names. And Allie.
Yes, my name's easy.
Yeah, that's. If I would have messed that up, you'd have permission to throw something at me. So thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
No problem.
Now, before we get to talking to Buried Tales, I would love to know what you ladies are into right now. Do you have any projects going on or anything coming out?
Well, actually, I've just booked a play. So yeah, I'm doing a play in Columbus.
Wow.
Actually, it's an original play. A playwright someone I know wrote it. I just designed their logo for their new production company. And so I'll be doing that. And I just did a Callaway golf shoot.
Oh, sweet.
Where I saw Jocelyn, who was the narrator of Buried Tales.
Yeah, she is the
Yeah,
Buried
we
Tales
were both
host.
in that. Yeah.
She will be here. She'll be also in the
I
episode
know.
here a little bit later, which is great. Now, one question, because I know when I was younger, I started off in stage acting. How do you find it moving from stage acting to film acting? Because stage acting, I find, is about broader, bigger motions and everything, whereas when you act in film, it's more subtle and drawn in. Do you have trouble transversing both?
No, because I do more film, so I don't do as many plays. This just kind of happened. I was doing the logo, and she asked me if I would take this part, so I didn't really audition for it.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a couple of years since I've done a play, but yeah, you're obviously working in a bigger voice and from a distance. So I think in film that it's more intimate. You're in a closer shot, and you have to just be, use a normal voice and be. I think it's almost a more difficult acting job because you have to be more believable. You have to come across, and it's not a performance. It's real.
And in film, I find like the hand motion that would be like this would be like this on stage.
Right. Right.
Now, Allie, both you did wonderful in Fallout. I want to say that off the bat. And I know you are also a busy actress.
Yes.
Tell us about projects that you've been working on lately or have coming up.
Well, I am working on a play right now. I'm in it. It's called Four Virgins, and it's F-O-R, not F-O-U-R. We're on Facebook and Twitter and all over the internet, but it's going to be in, let's see here, the Sharonville Art Center, I do believe.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe I'm wrong about that. It's somewhere in Sharonville. The information's up on the internet, so it's much more accurate than I am. But it will be in early July. I do believe it's the 11th.
Oh, wow.
These are things I should know, but I don't know off the top of my head right now. And I was recently cast in a web series coming up called Banna, Heart of Darkness, and I'm excited about that. They just started filming this weekend, actually.
And Tom Dallas is behind that.
Yes.
He's been on the show before. Very great, talented man.
Yes.
Good vision, too. I've worked with him on a couple of other projects, too.
It's interesting. It's kind of got a military and sci-fi feel to it, which is going to be a lot of fun to do.
Fun stuff. Now, I'll have to tell you, people who have, the couple of people I have premiered Buried Tales to, for you two actresses, I want to say, you get compared to Jessica Lange a lot. People who watch it, your acting and stuff, the intense scenes and everything. And people just say you're so creepy. I think you know the scene that I'm talking about.
Yes.
And people are just like, oh my God, is she for real? And I was like, well, that's acting. She just seems like she's for real because she's not really like that. But that scene is just incredible. Now, when it comes to Buried Tales, and I know we had a rigorous day of shooting because it was go in, not film it all from beginning to end, just right off the bat, which is a challenge in itself. Because I know you were like, you're going to film.
Which scenes are you going to film today?
Yeah, the whole
Oh,
thing.
we're going to do the whole thing.
Yeah. If we don't get the whole thing, I'm going to hurt somebody by the end of the day.
Yeah, it was amazing. It just went beautifully. You guys were a great team, and you really had a lot of planning and just totally knew what you were doing and
Worked really
carried
well
it out.
together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so I am very proud with the whole Buried Tales of being lucky, proud and lucky to have so many talented people. Boy, almost 50 people were involved in making it.
Wow. Yeah. It's a big undertaking.
It is a big undertaking.
And you've pulled it off.
Somehow, yeah. And nobody died,
I know.
which I think is the important thing. Everything might not go the way you want it to, but you have to stay the course and everything. Now, it was a great screenplay by Lana and Joanna. What attracted you to two of the roles that you played?
I originally auditioned for, it was, when I auditioned for it, it was like the trophy wife. And it was the role that ended up being turned into yours.
Yeah.
And I'm really good at being a mean person on camera. And I think that was what She's very, I don't know, just mean, for lack of a better word. She's a little bit callous, I suppose.
Sociopath.
Yes.
Is what I because you don't see it until they're towards the end. And you were subtle about it, which was great. But it still just gives you that.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm good at playing a mean person.
The original script, the Burris role was a man, and after auditions and everything, we had great actors, but nobody who kind of fit that imagery of, corporate power, spit in your eye when you got a gun pointed at you kind of attitude, except that we felt that from her. So, Lana was like, well, what if we switch the sex? And I was just like, that's brilliant. And you both were just wonderful.
Oh, thank you. It's so inspiring to hear these words and to be compared to Jessica Lange. Come on. It was great. I can't tell you that that'll always stay with me.
Special thank you to Mark Donahue and Marcia Donahue for letting us use the house, and Marcia Donahue for the food.
Yes.
I showed up with a little bag with a couple of donuts and some bananas.
It was lovely. And her sweet dog, too.
Yes, they were all
a lot of
wonderful.
fun.
It was, just a wonderful experience.
It was.
And thank you guys for coming on the show.
Well,
Is there
thank you.
anything else you'd like to say about Fallout?
I would just, I can't, wait for everyone to see it, and I just appreciate the opportunity and to have a rewrite of, for me to be the lead. It was great. Could ask for no more.
You played it to a T.
Well, it was so much fun, and obviously we both enjoy playing mean people.
I love that picture that they got of us for the family photo.
Oh,
yes.
That's going to be good.
Yes.
Oh, I loved it so much. I used
like
it
mother,
for
like daughter, I guess, right?
I used it for one of the ads that
nice.
I liked it so much. The banner for the Buried Tales Facebook page, you'll see that picture is one of the pictures that I used for it, because I just thought it was perfect. It was very well done. Well, thank you very much. And what was
Four Virgins.
F-O-R-E?
F-O-R.
F-O-R.
Yes.
Four Virgins. You can find it on Facebook about the premiere date.
And my play is Somewhere I Can Scream, which is actually a true story from the 1920s, where an OSU professor is having an affair with his young student and ends up murdering his wife to keep her quiet.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
So then the name of that was?
Somewhere I Can Scream.
Somewhere I Can Scream.
Yes.
That's a great title.
And what play group? What group is that's doing that?
It's called Doc Theater, Drake Oratory Theater, Amy Drake, and it is just a new theater company, and she is a playwright. Yeah.
Well, that was wonderful. Good luck to you guys. You really should go see these two because they're remarkable performers. So keep an eye out for both their plays and the web series and everything, and we'll be looking for more from you in the future.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Mwah. Bring on the next guest. Now, with this, the interview, I'll also be showing.
Hi. Have a seat, sweetie. Can I get you something to drink?
Yeah, I'll have a shot of bourbon with a glass of Coke on the side.
Okay, coming right up. Get yourself a plate if you're hungry.
It's actually pretty good. Doesn't cost nothing. You just have to get it yourself.
Here you go.
Thanks.
So, haven't seen you around these parts before. It's always good to have a new early patron. Can get you another shot.
No, not yet. I won't be a regular. I'm just passing through on vacation.
Here we are, back here for our special Buried Tales episode. I am lucky enough to be sitting with two of the actors who were in the early patrons, one of the segments of the anthology Buried Tales. It's a very happy piece. They're all very happy pieces. I'll just leave it at that. But thank you very much, Daryl Miller and Dave Moak, for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having us. I'm glad to be here.
You guys have both been guests on the show before, so I'm really happy that you're able to come back today.
And I'm surprised I'm back.
Are you surprised anytime anybody asks you back for a second time?
Pretty much, yeah, including my wife. Yeah.
That's the beauty of marriage, I suppose. Daryl, before we start dipping into early patrons and buried tales, tell us what you've been up to. Do you have any projects coming up?
Yeah, I've been really busy lately. I've shot a couple of shorts, finished a pilot on a web series that I've talked to the production company that I guess they're going to finish a complete season of that later this summer. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a little thing called Couples by the Trinity Film Group that just gets into the little quirky things in relationships that we all deal with every day that are really pretty funny. So I'm really excited about that, and working with another great actress that I've worked with before. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And coming up, tomorrow I'm actually going to Columbus to shoot a film called A Watch Pot by Forrest Davis. It's a film actually out of New York, a SAG union film, so I've got a supporting role in that, so I'm looking forward to that. And then a week after that, I guess it's a guest star for a pilot for Banna Heart of Darkness by Tom Dallas, and I'm really excited about that, and I've got a couple of other projects later this summer.
Wow, you are a busy, busy man.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, yeah. And in the process, I'm trying to move to California, so so a little bit of things to do.
Well, that's good, though, and I can understand why you are so busy, because you're very committed and a very good actor.
Thank you.
Blew us away on Early Patrons.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was a fun thing to do. I really enjoyed it. I think what I liked about it initially, Bill, and really the whole thing was when I read the script, just the depth of the script and the subject matter, and dealing with, I think for me, you know, dealing with child abuse, you know, sexual abuse, and the, you know, and how much do we really listen to those people when they are abused, and what can the result be, and, you know, and how do we deal with that?
Yeah.
And, of course, this one takes a darker turn, but it was really really enjoyable script and really fun to do, you know, and it was really challenging for me to do.
Well, I love writing, and I was very proud of the Early Patrons, pretty much right off the bat. I tried to do MacGuffin because I'm a Hitchcock fan and mislead the audience in the beginning of it, and you think the movie's about one thing and then it twists on you and comes back as another. Now, Dave, I know you are also a very busy man, because good actor, very active. What projects are involved in right now?
Well, as you know, we got on the 26th. We got Buried Tales premiering at the Yellow Cat Company. You guys, got some place to go. Tomorrow, I shoot a scene for Banna, and I get run through as a tow truck driver. That's a stretch for me, you know. This past spring, we wrapped on a film called Respite Care, written and directed by Dan McCormick, and that's going to have you on your edge of your seat. It's going to be intense, if not disturbing at times. I'm looking forward to that.
You and Carrington scenes. In intensity, sometimes it mirrors almost Early Patrons, because similar subject matter about child abuse and everything, and it coming around again. But yeah, your guys, some of your scenes were just, I got to work sound on Respite Care. And boy, you guys, just amazing. So when you get a chance to see that movie, I would also recommend it.
Looking forward to that one. Also coming, we'll be starting work. We're in the pre-production, the early phases of production of Dead Husband in a Western Town, written by Brian Dobbins and directed by Lana Reed. Both of us will be working in that. Looking forward to that this summer.
Because it's so far in the summer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of down the road a little ways.
Late August, I think.
Yeah, September.
I've been following it on Facebook, and some of the stills that I've been seeing, it just looks absolutely amazing.
Very high quality.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that too. I mean, the fact that we're able to shoot a Western in Ohio is going to be really great. And that's really going to make it.
It's an awesome little town too, man.
Yeah, to be able to do a period piece in Ohio is really good.
You know, back when it was said, "Go west, young man," they were actually talking about Ohio when they said that.
That's true.
That was the furthest point west at that time.
That's right. That's true.
Now, when it comes to Buried Tales and Early Patrons, we shot the whole thing in one day, which was an intense level of shooting. I think 7.5 hours We knocked that out roughly. And intense performances. Now, you said that you were attracted to the subject matter and the screenplay. Now, when doing the character or anything, because on set you were in character almost the whole time. People told me like during that day, they're like, "Oh my God, he is so scary." And I was just like, no. He is not like that normally. He's just in character.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I get that a lot. I used to get that when I was in the corporate world too, and I think it's just a level of focus that I've learned that I bring, and you know, and it's. I kind of laugh at it now because people get these impressions of me as some really serious, deep, dark guy, and I'm really pretty laid back and a lot of fun. Dave knows that about me. Yeah, but it was the character itself. You know, I drew upon a lot of things, a lot of experiences. I think I actually just watched it before I came in here, which was great. And just a little piece of trivia: the picture that I'm holding in the truck before I go into the bar. Is actually a picture of me and my son who's now 23. I think he was 4 or 5 at the time. So there's a picture of me with no gray hair and a nice dark beard.
You could feel the emotional connection, not just to the picture, but in the character to when he talked about his son. I could almost feel a transference of your emotions for your children into what you were bringing into the character.
Yeah, I think that's something that every parent can do, and especially if you're an actor and you're a parent. I mean, there's just so many things that we can draw on, and acting is reacting and really taking. When I try and explain it to people, usually the first question I get from fans is, "How do you memorize all those lines?" And that's the easy part, actually. That's just, I tell them that's the same. How do you memorize a song that well, you just hear it on the radio a bunch of times. But I think we just, we react and we try and be in the moment. And I think what I tell people is most actors in some form or another really aren't acting. They're really reacting to that moment, and taking
and bringing up the real that's inside of them.
Bringing up the real.
Now, Dave, I've heard from a couple of people, like my wife and daughter, when watching the early patrons, they love your character. They spout about Dave.
He did a great job. I just was telling him that. I thought he did a great job.
Ray, your character, and you portraying that character, helps the piece from being so serious that you want to shoot yourself after the end of it. Because it is, you keep it from being just too dry and too overwhelmingly serious. You bring a little bit of the comedy to it, and you played it to a T.
Well, it's nice to be known it's nice to know that you've been spouted about. Yeah, I understood my role in that because I knew Raz's character and I know Daryl's character were very, very serious. And I knew, okay, well, there needs to be some contrast here, so I just showed up as a construction worker, pissed off at his job.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing anything right, so he just left the site and came to get a beer.
Hit the bar, because I've done contract jobs, and that's a lot of times when you take a lunch, it's a 3-beer lunch.
Yeah.
Only 3?
Yeah. It depends on the equipment you're running.
I suspect.
You don't want to be doing an overhead crane after doing some shots of tequila,
Possibly. I guess it
makes it more interesting.
Definitely keeps people on their toes.
It's important.
But your character, it helps tie everything, and you're part of the MacGuffin. And the ladies in the beginning and everything are part of the misdirection, and until Daryl's first entrance. Because like what this movie's about. I even tried to even though Mark directed it, I hung that Frenzy poster in the back, the Hitchcock Frenzy poster, because I wanted to be obvious in saying it's a Hitchcock MacGuffin. That was my Easter egg for that.
It was fun doing that. Shayna Radonsky, I tease her all the time anyway, on Facebook and whenever we're someplace together, and it just seemed natural just to just rib her all the time throughout the.
And it showed in the beginning that you, Raz, and Shayna Ray all have had a relationship before, because it came off on the film. And then when the stranger comes in and inserts himself basically into the middle of all that, And you feel that instant breakaway intention that comes into it.
Who's this guy?
Exactly. But both you guys just gave bang-up performances. I couldn't be prouder of Early Patrons or Buried Tales as a whole. And I can't take credit for hardly any of it because it was the talented people who came around me who helped bring it to life. That's what really made it.
Thanks, man.
It's very true. I mean,
no, it does. It takes that's what I love most about acting and filmmaking. It's collaboration, and I tell people, and I've learned this as I've grown in the process, is that acting is a very, very small piece, a very important piece, but it's a very small piece of the whole collaborative effort. And I think what I really enjoy is engaging with other good actors and connecting, and you really feel that sense of creating something in that moment. It is magical.
My favorite thing, and this comes from the writer's perspective, is writing something and how it's in my head when I'm writing it. And then when actors take that and give me what I wanted out of writing, but add to it so much more by giving more depth than I thought that I had seen in it. And I also got that from your guys' performance, from Raz, his performance. Wow. And Dovey and Shayna in the beginning. I mean, Shayna's through the whole thing, but their two little scene in the beginning, I mean, just all around, great. Just thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and while we're talking and stuff, when I do the show, we'll be throwing in clips of early patrons
Oh, great.
and everything while we're talking too.
Good for people to see.
This episode will release the same weekend we have the premiere.
Oh, great.
So I'm going to try to tie it all
Well, everybody
in together.
go.
Everybody go.
Go.
It's a lot of entertainment for just $3. Well, thank you guys very much. I hope you enjoyed coming on the show again.
Yes, I did. Thanks for having us.
If you could stick around, we're going to be having a clip show afterwards. That'll be uncensored. That'll be a lot of fun too.
Oh, scary. Okay.
Thank you very much. We'll be back in just a minute with another fantastic person from Buried Tales. Waka, waka, waka.
Another date down the drain. Just when I think it's all going so well, they always fall to pieces. Relationships can be so messy.
That's right. We're still here for a Buried Tales episode. Which camera? Oh. And I'm sitting here with the very lovely and talented Jocelyn Tanis. She's been on the show before, and she is the host of Buried Tales. When it came time, the first meeting that we had, and I was trying to pitch to everybody about doing Buried Tales, I wanted a classic 1950s kind of host. And in my head, I was seeing a homicidal Donna Reed.
Ta-da.
And that's the homicidal Donna Reed, without a doubt. Thank you for coming on today's show.
Oh, thank you for having me back.
Now, before we dip into Buried Tales and everything, I'm curious to what you've been up to, what projects you've been a part of, and do you have anything coming up?
Well, I haven't done a whole lot yet this year. I've been hunting constantly, but a couple of commercials. I was working as a stand-in on a film in Cleveland, but I actually got off the film a little early, so I'm actively hunting again. But I think the next big thing is probably I've actually written a lot of songs lately, so I'm starting to kind of put music to them, and I'm hoping to maybe record a couple this year.
Do it. Let me know, because I am always searching for score.
Sweet.
From as many people as I can, please.
And then, of course, Uber Zombie Frau is coming out hopefully this summer.
Uber Zombie Frau. Wasn't that a fun movie?
It was fantastic. It was one of the most fun times I've ever had on a film set. It was just great.
You know, I was just there for the one day doing makeup, and got to be a zombie and get killed and stuff. And I have to say, it was one of the highlights of last fall.
Oh, absolutely.
When we do that. That was a lot of fun. I just, you know, zombies, Nazis,
Oh yeah,
girls killing zombies.
the comic version of it.
The comic version of it. And you can find out about Uber Zombie Frau if you go onto Facebook. Just Google search it. It'll pop up all over the place. It's currently in post, and it won't be long before we'll be forcing it down the public's throats. I promise you. Al Harland is a genius. He's the mad Brit. And so you have songs coming up and songwriting. I know probably movie roles and more roles will be coming around because you know what I love pointing out to people, right, is, okay, that is Jocelyn right there in the S.H.I.E.L.D. lobby. And then if you know, go forward, you know, a few minutes, and there she is again. And she's in my movie. Come on. 6 degrees of separation to Captain America. Yes.
Actually, it was about 4 feet, but
That'll work too. Which is amazing because I also I've met somebody who was one of the cameramen for Captain America: Winter Soldier.
okay. Yeah, I chatted with a few of them, just kind of, you know, behind the scenes. I always talk to the crew. Crew are they're wonderful, and I love meeting Ohio crew especially. But
Well, crew, if you make friends with the crew, they will make sure you're on time and that you look good. And that on a set, that's 2 very important things. Now, when it comes to Buried Tales, because when we came up with the concept of Buried Tales, you know, needed the perfect host, and you were on the top of a very short list of people I could think of. I mean, because we had met doing Film Speak and chatted and everything. And I think what really sold me was I saw a promotion picture from earlier that year of you dressed in 1950s style. And when I was thinking about a host and everything, and I wanted to do 50s style, then I was like, you know, she's perfect.
well, and that was actually the second time I had. Buried Tales is actually the third time I've done something 1950s, because the thing you're talking about was a short film called The Dormant Machine. And before that, I had actually done a makeup test for a friend of mine. She's a makeup artist. And she wanted to do like a Liz Taylor 1950s style. So she did my hair, she did the makeup, and took some
Totally see
pictures.
that.
So yeah, it's kind of a running theme with me all of a sudden.
Well, it's because you have that classic beauty look, you know, of the 40s and 50s kind of style. I can completely see you pulling off like a His Girl Friday kind of
Oh, gosh, I love that
rapid
movie.
fire line. That's one of my favorite Cary Grant films.
Few people can do that anymore with the really, really fast, like overlapping dialogue. Almost nobody can do that
Have you
anymore.
ever seen The Hudsucker Proxy? Because Jennifer Jason Leigh and Bruce Campbell
Yeah.
carry that kind of banter.
He's
in their
fast.
scenes.
He's
Yeah.
unbelievably fast.
It's one of my favorite actors. I know he's kind of underrated, maybe a little bit of a B actor, but he inspires me.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
he just has fun with it. He has fun with everything he does, and you can tell.
Yeah.
It comes through in his performance.
Yeah, and it's completely believable, and that jaw.
Oh gosh, that jaw.
So what did you think of the links when I did send them to you?
You mean for the
For
script
for
originally?
the Buried Tales, yeah.
Okay, I loved it. I just thought it sounded like a great time and an excuse to put on one of my dresses again, because I love the 1950s dresses. But
You thrilled me because you got the dialogue right off the bat.
well, and see, that was something I read the dialogue and I thought, this is hysterical. It's subtle. It's completely subtle, and at the same time very, very in your face with just. We're pushing the style, but we're
Your nuances, the looks in your eyes when you would give it, and the smile. It was almost like you completely planned it out perfectly. But it was natural.
Well, that's the great thing. Sometimes there are times when you really have to work to get into a character, and then sometimes it clicks.
It clicked. It really did. I've only showed it, and I've said this a couple of times through this episode, I've only shown it to a handful of people, you know, family, couple of friends. The people who helped score it, of course, saw it. And Rusty and I, through editing, have watched everything dozens to hundreds of times over and over again. But I always get compliments on you. And people always like, who is she? What has she done? She is remarkable. And it's like the whole Anthony Hopkins of Silence of the Lambs thing, you know, because you're seen probably out of everybody in the movie the least. But the impression that you make just resonates and carries with people. And I used Anthony Hopkins from Silence of the Lambs because he was only on screen for 12 minutes.
Right.
And then won an Oscar for it.
Exactly. Or like Judi Dench in Shakespeare in Love.
Yes.
Whole 3 minutes on screen.
But commanded it.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. She owned that.
And I hope that we're able to take Buried Tales, because it's been talking that if I get the chance to make it into a half-hour weekly show, then we are going to jump on it. So if you see this and you want to throw money at us to make this happen, you know, please, we are all about that. Because she would love to do the character again. Because if I get enough money, I will buy her dozens of dresses.
Get the 1950s look going. I'll have to have a whole new closet just for those.
Just for those. We'll keep Clarissa busy, keeping your hair in style, in a 50s style.
Oh, yes.
That is great. Is there anything else that you would like to leave off with?
Come to the premiere. It's going to be great.
Yeah, come to the premiere. It'll be the weekend that this comes out on DATV. It's the same weekend, the 26th. If it goes really well, who knows? Maybe we'll have to do a second one.
I'm all for that.
Yeah. My dream, because I'm allowed to, my seating capacity is 190. So it would really make my heart feel warm and gushy, like a gummy bear left in the pocket too long, if I was turning people away. That sounds so crappy, doesn't it? But I would feel good to say no to people. I guess that's what I'm trying to say is, oh no, we're too full. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
Please have a bag of popcorn.
That'd be a great feeling.
Yeah, wouldn't it? You know, if you had to say.
So many people want to see this movie.
that kind of sadistic of us, because that would make us feel well.
It means you did a good job with the promoting.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
I suppose so. We'll have to see how that goes. Well, again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wouldn't have been the film that it is without you.
Aw.
Absolutely mean that.
I can't wait to see the rest of it. I've only seen just kind of the bits from the trailer, so
Ah,
I'm really
pretty
looking
good.
forward to seeing everybody else's performances.
Well,
Got some great actors.
Things are slow. When we get done here, I'll let you sneak a peek. Oh. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me back.
You guys, we'll see you later. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about Will to Live. Woo!
We have to go.
What?
The compound's been overrun.
We have to get somewhere safe, Betty. Come on.
We're safe.
That's when the whole world went wrong. Don't get me wrong, what happened is horrible. I finally felt adjusted.
We have to go. Go now.
You kept what was important.
What's that?
Your will to live.
Here we are. This is going to be our last segment of today's special Buried Tales show. And you're stuck with just Rusty and I, who is been on the show before.
Yes, I
but
have.
He's mainly a man behind the scenes.
I usually do sound for Film Speak.
The sound for Film Speak, camera, sound, producing, just about everything for Buried Tales. Editing. Rusty and I have logged in probably hundreds and hundreds of hours of editing for Buried Tales. And most of that was Will to Live.
Yeah, we spent about half a year on that?
Yeah.
About half a year.
A little over, I think almost 7 months of editing, which is, 7 months from filming, I guess, to editing, probably 5 months of editing, 6 months of editing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then shooting, what was it, about 3-4 months?
3 or 4 months.
I know we went from winter to spring during the production.
Well, I think in total it was only 7 days of shooting.
Wow, yeah.
But they were spread because of getting everybody together. They were spread over a course of 3 months, 3 or 4 months.
And the location we had for at the quarry in Fairborn.
Yeah, the rock quarry.
Incredible. Just you could stand in the middle of that and do a 360 and never see a car or
anything.
Way off in the distance, you can maybe hear a car, but we had a couple times in editing. We'd be going along, and Bill would say, "Stop! Run that back. Look, half a mile away, there's a car."
And Rusty would tell me that not to worry about it, and he was right, because I sit there and watch for people, and I can see the jogger up in the right-hand corner, but he's so small and obscure that nobody else ever sees him. But in the car, which comes in from the right, and you only see it for just like a quarter of a second, but because of us editing it so much, I'm just like, ah!
Yeah.
But nobody sees it.
We see it, yeah.
Yeah, we see it, but nobody else has noticed it. And it was a remarkable film. I loved writing it. I tried to write it as an anti-zombie film, which it's a zombie movie, but it's not really about zombies. It's about characters.
It's instead of being a drama, instead of being a zombie movie with some drama, it's a drama movie with some zombies.
That's a great way to put it, a drama movie with some zombies. I wanted to write it about PTSD, which was the underlying subtext I tried to do it. And I thought that both Chris Raleigh and Joanna Lloyd portrayed that to a T. The effects. And talk about two amazing actors. Joanna Lee Lloyd and Christopher Raleigh were just incredible. The way they portrayed the characters brought them to life.
Yeah, they locked together.
And really just brought it to life. And another thing that when people watch it that they don't realize is that almost every sound that you hear is Rusty and I.
Did a lot of Foley work on that.
We did a lot of Foley.
And I'd seen people do that, of course, and seeing the behind the scenes on how they'd done it. But it's amazing just how much that adds to a movie. You see a lot of movies, you see something shot in New York and somebody gets out of a car and slams the door. It's got to be Foley, because it's gonna be like a rocket of all the cars and horns. I was just in New York last fall, and if you stop at a light and the light turns green, if within 2 milliseconds you haven't moved, they're on their horn. Out of my way, I'm coming through. You stupid Ohio person, get out of my way. So.
I mean, we had Mark Burris-Daniel and Joanna Lloyd also helped us with Foley.
Yes.
But almost all of it was Rusty and I. Let's run through the leaves. Yeah. Let's swing a pipe in the air.
Walking over the same bridge that's in the movie, but with cleaner audio, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, every sound you hear, if you hear a backpack drop to the ground, it was because Rusty and I, in editing, would be sitting over it going, don't like the way that sounds. And we would go over and just make our own sound because we didn't like the way it sounded.
Or there's a scene with Joanna and Chris in a backyard, and Chris drops a bat. And I'm thinking, I didn't hear that. We got to hear it. We pulled it. We used the exact same sound from another bat dropping. And it worked.
And it worked.
It worked.
Because you need that sound.
Yep.
The reason that we Foleyed so much is because if you're doing something, for me, that was post-apocalyptic, basically, then you needed that ambient sound a certain way. You needed the sound of abandonment, just not the look of abandonment, I guess.
Right.
And with airplanes and cars, like you were saying, it made it hard, so that we went through and basically did our own sound for the whole film.
Right. And we were lucky that when we shot in that quarry, it wasn't the same day that they decided to do touch and goes from the base.
We
wouldn't have gotten anything done. It was like, it was an incredible experience. As I got a lot of use out of the crane I've got.
Oh, for sure.
So that was
Rusty's
it adds a lot of production value.
Rusty's 12-foot jib is almost its own character in the film. the sweeping shots, it wouldn't have been the film that it was with I mean, every piece is important.
Yeah.
But the rising shots, a lot of the people's favorite shots that they talk about from the film came from the use of your 12-foot jib. I don't want to give too much away, but there's a shot at the end that is just epic with the rising camera and everything. When I know you'll watch it, so when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
And we got to remember to again plug the premiere.
Yes, yes, on the 26th. It'll be, well, if you're watching this on the Sunday, you probably just missed it, but I'll probably be putting this episode out a couple of days before on YouTube.
That'd be good, yeah.
So that people will get the message to go see it on the 26th.
Yes, June 26th at
7 o'clock,
7
the old
o'clock?
Yellow Cab building. It's a lot of entertainment for just $3.
Yes.
You'll have a lot of fun. It's be the best, cheapest night out that you can have.
Yeah. And so you see a lot of up and coming independent actors and producers. A good chance to network.
Directors, yeah, there are so many. I think I've said this almost every segment, but I've just been overwhelmed by the amount of talented people we got to work with.
I said there's about 50 people involved in this.
Will to Live, which was filmed entirely in Fairborn and Jamestown, Ohio. Thank you, Ramsey Stoneburner, for finding the perfect locations. Not just her house, but the places she found around Jamestown and everything, the other places we shot.
Yeah.
Definitely were absolutely perfect. And we had so many extras because, we had 16 people come out one day just to be extras and have me yell across the field.
And we had to do it was a factory, turning out a factory of makeup artists working on everybody.
How we did that was we did 3 layers of zombies. And we had zombies who are up front in camera, had the most detailed makeup. And then we placed them as they went back. There was less detail in the makeup and everything. And filming in black and white is very, very forgiving.
Yes. It's shocking to go through the edit and then you're pulling up, you'll have to pull in something and it's in color. Whoa.
Now, why I have you here, because I owe a big thank you to everybody who is a part of Buried Tales. And each part is very significant in it being so well done. But couldn't have done it without you, Rusty.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Really.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm
proud of it.
You're proud of it. I'm very proud of it, and I'm glad after all this time and how much we've worked together on it that you don't want to kill me. There are good days. There are bad days. You didn't see me coming up behind you at the ligature while you were editing, Bill, but I changed my mind. This is what you get for drinking all my pop.
It was good. Yeah, it was fun. Looking forward to some more stuff.
Absolutely.
So let's interview each other. What have you been working on since Buried Tales? What are we doing? What are you doing?
Trying to get busy. I've had my fingers in many pots. There's of course Film Speak, which is coming to an end soon, but there'll be a new show coming out this fall. I'm writing a new screenplay called Gem City Hard Knocks, which is a violent film noir that takes place in Dayton, Ohio. Worked on Respite Care. Yeah. Doing sound with Rusty. Rusty was the head sound guy, and I was his lackey. I like being Rusty's lackey. Worked with the Uber Zombie Frau. Had the Cafe 125 reality show that you can find on YouTube and on DATV. Boy, I know there's more.
Well, last year you worked on...
I'm in Bad Fellas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
And I'm in Grassman, acting, which people keep asking me to act. I don't know why. But, if they ask, I will do it. Suckers. I think that's about it.
Yeah. That's it for us.
Possibly we'll be producing an infomercial, but we'll see how that goes.
Right.
That's something coming up, too.
Right, I've got, what I've got coming up is a short called Drive, which is being produced and written by Holly Hudson, and we'll have to have her on our new show.
Absolutely.
Also, might be helping out in some capacity. I might be doing something with Dead Husband in the Western Town.
Yes.
Got that. We've got a couple other shorts coming up. I've got a short web series that was done, gosh, a year ago, and still working on that, called Breathe.
Which I have seen, and it really reminds me of 1950s sci-fi. But I mean, it's modern, but it really reminds me of a quality 1950s sci-fi.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to do. Also in black and white. So we sort of done about the same time we were working on Will to Live. So it's why it sort of ties together with that.
I love black and white, and I feel bad because I feel like after Buried Tales that I should probably wait a while before I shoot another black and white film.
Right.
Don't want to overdo it.
Right. Okay.
And I think you've had a couple other things recently too, didn't you?
I did help out on sound and lighting on a web series coming out called We're Here Now, which stars Kaylee Belinsky, and I don't remember Gavin's last name, I'm sorry, but they were the stars along with Chad Wyckoff and Gregory Kennedy with Trinity Film Group. He and Chad got together with their group 1637, and that was a week-long shoot, and we shot 6 full episodes of a web series. That's be coming out soon.
Wow.
That's in post.
And you just worked on a MOFA short too, didn't you?
Did a, well, not a MOFA. It was a, we were doing a, what was it, it's called the Road, My Road Reel.
The road, for the road.
My
mic
Road
contest,
Reel.
that's
It's
right.
supposed to be a 3-minute short. Came out that we did not watch the dead end right, or the deadline right. I missed it, so we're going to recut that, and we're going to enter it into a lot of film festivals locally.
Well, that's awesome, though. That's still going to get to be used.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've gathered from this, but Rusty is not just a heck of a guy. He is a very, very busy guy. He has his fingers in more pots than I do.
I also want to mention something coming up for all the filmmakers who are, like we are, in post and wrapping up their shoots, that there's a big new film festival launching in October called the Helios Film Festival. And I want to invite everybody to go on Facebook and look it up. It's called Helios, H-E-L-I-O-S.
Like the page because it is very important to support independent film.
Yeah.
This is homegrown Ohio stuff. Very important that you go out there, and not just filmmakers, but local musicians, artists. These are important things for our community. So check out the Helios Film Festival. It's in Northern Kentucky.
It's going to be in Eastgate in Cincinnati.
In Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So you go to Cincinnati. That's not that far to go.
That's right.
And it'll be in October. Support independent film. Yes. Thank you for joining me to talk about Will to Live, Rusty.
Thank you.
And keep up the good work.
All right.
And,
you too, Bill.
Thank you. I just, filmmaking would not be the same without you here to support dozens and dozens of people. We are all mere midgets in your shadow, sir.
Oh.
I have to say that.
All right.
Thank you for joining us for our special Buried Tales episode, and make sure you go check out the movie. Have a great day.